Live from the heart of Ball State University, a NewsLink Indiana special report. Election night 2018 starts right now.
Well, the polls are closed and the results are coming in. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being with us. I'm Tanner Holbrook.
And I'm Marley Thomas. NewsLink Indiana is your election headquarters for 2018. We have live team coverage tonight from local and state races you care about.
Let's start with NewsLink Indiana's Emerson Lehman, who's live at the Delaware County Republican Watch Party tonight. Good evening, Emerson.
Marley, Tanner, good evening everyone. An electric atmosphere here at the Delaware County GOP Watch Party, with results being announced just a few minutes ago, with many Republican candidates winning their respective races. Just to give you a list of a few of those winners, Shannon Henry will maintain his position as the Delaware County Commissioner. Rich Spangler will be the county clerk, and perhaps the biggest race here in Delaware County was that race for sheriff between Sheriff Deputy Tony Skinner and incumbent Sheriff Ray Dudley, and we're joined now by Sheriff-elect Tony Skinner. Mr. Skinner, you can step in here. Thank you so much for speaking with us tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, you guys certainly hit the campaign trail hard, as it showed here tonight. Plenty of Tony Skinner for Sheriff signs and advertisements throughout Delaware County. Explain the process of how it's been running against your boss.
It's been a little bit of a strange dynamic running for office against your current boss. The campaign, we've been campaigning for about 15 months now, and it's been long and hard. As you can see tonight, it's very rewarding. I want to thank all of my supporters, all of my volunteers, everybody out there who put a yard sign in, who walked for me, who wore my shirt, and especially everybody who voted for me today. God bless you all. I appreciate it.
And you mentioned it's been a very rewarding experience. This room was just very loud, very excited once you were announced the winner. Explain those emotions that you feel being announced the new sheriff.
Well, quite frankly, it's quite surreal. As the time went by today, from hour to hour to hour, I was calm. I don't know. I'm truly humbled. I'm truly humbled by everybody who's congratulated me and who's supported me this entire time. My name's on the shirt, but this was an absolute team effort.
And now that you know you will be the new sheriff, what can residents of Delaware County expect from their new sheriff?
They can expect an increased presence in the patrol division. They can expect a different way that we're going to tackle the drug problem, and we are going to absolutely maintain a level of professionalism with the sheriff's office that's never been seen before.
Well, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate your time. We'll let you get back to your celebration.
Thank you.
A very electric atmosphere here, guys. As you can see, people very excited for all their hard work, but they said they're ready to get back to work tomorrow. For now, live in Muncie, Emerson Lehman,
thanks.
NewsLink,
Turning
Indiana.
our attention to downtown Muncie now, that's where local Democrats are gathering to watch the results as they come in tonight.
Yeah, NewsLink Indiana's Tyler Roman is live at the Delaware County Democratic headquarters to tell us how candidates and their supporters are feeling right now. Tyler.
Tanner, Marley, good evening. Here at the Democratic headquarters, it might not seem that busy down here, but throughout the night, we have heard the reaction of the crowd as the results have come in. And joining me live right now is the chairman of the Delaware County Democrats, Allie Craycraft. Allie, first of all, good evening. Thank you so much for being with us. How are you feeling after tonight?
Of course, we're very disappointed because we've had quite a number of offices that we lost this evening. People who had been in office for quite a while, our clerk, Mike King, the sheriff, Ray Dudley, a lot of the others who had been there, they lost this evening. And it's disappointing to know that we worked so hard trying to put the campaign together and then to come up to this evening. And then, of course, the people have made a choice. And so you come up on the side that's not the winner. But this is a time when you have to just understand that there are winners and there are losers, and you put it together and you move forward from here, and hopefully the next one you'll come out the winner.
And obviously we heard you allude to some of the races there. What results kind of surprised you tonight as you saw those results come in?
The sheriff's race surprised me. The county clerk race surprised me very much. And then some of the other races who people had worked very hard for trying to win, and they just came up on the short end. They had a tremendous turnout. around our county. We did pretty well in the city, but out on the outside, it was just not our night. And so you just have to accept that and move forward from here.
And finally, obviously, you mentioned that it was a difficult night. How does the party move forward after this?
You just get together and understand that, there are winners and losers, and you put it together from there and start planning and working and with good candidates. And we had excellent candidates this time. And so you just have to keep working hard, and hopefully down the road, the next election coming up next year, the city will be successful.
All right, Allie Craycraft, once again, thank you so much for joining us here. Again, we are going to continue to keep you updated on everything that has to do with both parties. But again, we're going to go ahead and send it back to you guys there in the studio, Tanner and Marley.
Tyler Brumma at the Democratic Watch Party tonight. Tyler, thanks. Turning now to local races here in Delaware County. Several incumbents fighting to keep their seats tonight.
NewsLink Indiana's Brittany Ehrman joins us live from the newsroom with a look at where those races are standing right now. Brittany, good evening.
Well, Tanner, these are the election results that are in for the local race. Now, 100% of these precincts are in, and these are the accurate results. So starting with Delaware County Clerk Mike King lost to Rick Spangler, Republican candidate. Delaware County Commissioner Jason Donati lost to Shannon Henry, incumbent, so she re-won her seat. And Delaware County Sheriff Ray Dudley and Tony Skinner. Now, the interesting fact about Ray Dudley is that he was appointed this position after his predecessor died, but Tony Skinner won that seat with 53%. Now, this is the first time since 1944 that an incumbent sheriff lost his re-election in Delaware County. So a very big deal happening here. And now we're going to take a look at the state election. So now I just want to take a look at these numbers. Indiana State Senator District 25 and Indiana State Senator District 26 are just based off of what people or how people voted in Delaware County. So we're going to take a look at Tim Lennon, 53%, to Zaki Ali, 44%, in the Indiana State Senator District 26, Dave Cravens, Mike Gaskill, 59%. So he's actually beating Cravens. So those are the results right now. Again, in Delaware County, not for across the state. Now, transitioning to Indiana Secretary of State, reporting 32%. That is for results across the state. Jim Harper sitting at 35%, and Connie Lawson, incumbent, sitting at 62%. So these are the results that we have right now, and coming up, we'll have those national results, and we'll give you those results as soon as we have them. Tanner?
All right, Brittany, we'll check back in just a few minutes. Right now, joining us is Assistant Professor of Political Science, Chad Kinsella. Thanks for being with us this evening.
Pleasure's all mine. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and so obviously, major news right there with two incumbents. We had the sheriff, that is Ray Dudley, and Mike King, the clerk, losing their elections tonight. Was this expected? This must be devastating news for their parties and for their campaigns.
It's really interesting because I think the biggest thing is you have, Donnelly won, Lake won in the county, and the fact that people crossed over and voted, I don't think that would have been expected, and I think that's really interesting. I think in the commissioner's race is really interesting because you have Dave Ring run as an independent, and I think I got around 10% of the vote. So it would have been, of course we'll never know, but it would have been really interesting to see what happened with that commissioner's race had he not been in it. So, I think that's very interesting and I think unexpected that you had these incumbents that were unseated here in Delaware County.
Now, the one incumbent who did win tonight in Delaware County was Shannon Henry, the county commissioner. Now, what's your take on these results?
Again, I think there's an independent that I think played spoiler a little bit in there. I think it was a good night for local Republicans, at least in Delaware County. The fact that they were able to outperform, the people at the top of the ticket, says a lot. And it's really interesting. I think it says a lot about things that are going on in Delaware County. And I think that there's local news that has been going on, FBI investigations and other things. You have to wonder, and I would probably say that there's probably had some sort of effect, perhaps on those local elections. And again, one of the things nationally has been going on is, from top of the ticket to the bottom of the ticket, usually people have been voting along partisan lines, and the fact that you had at least a fairly significant number of people in Delaware County cross over and vote Republican when at the top of the ticket they voted Democratic, says something that there's something amiss here in Delaware County, that people did want some sort of change.
Thank you so much, Chad, and we will be checking back in with you later. Here at Ball State, students and faculty are together right now watching the results as they continue to be updated.
That's right. The Political Science Department is sponsoring this watch party. That's where we find our own Camille Breck with reactions. Camille.
All right, thanks Marley and Tanner. So we're here at the campus viewing party. It's been going on for about 2 hours now, and there's been a good mix of both parties here, and also students, faculty, and even UPD stopped by for a little bit. And also ARD German Television is here streaming the election all the way to Germany. They're really just interested in coming to Muncie because it's seen as a Middletown kind of place. So they're streaming the election all the way there, which is great. And I'm also here with Dr. Hildebrand, who helped to put on this event, and also here with a student as well to get their perspective on the viewing party. So Dr. Hildebrand, how would you describe like the mood or feeling of this party?
It's a lot of fun. I mean, having the German folks here filming the events and things like that, students have really been into it. And the election so far has been back and forth. So it's really adding to a lot of the drama.
Yeah, definitely. And so how does it feel to put on an event like this? Like, what's been your favorite part about that?
The favorite part, honestly, is that we had such great turnout. We probably had over 100 students come out. And folks are just really into it, really following along and seeing what's going on. And having this opportunity, of course, to work with the folks from Germany is very unique. So just getting that we're just so proud to do that for the morning.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Dr. Hildebrand. All right, well, students are still going to stay here in Burkhart Building to get all the election coverage until all the polls are closed. So back to you at the desk.
All right, Camille Breck at the University Watch Party for us tonight. Thanks, Camille. Turning to weather, very windy today. You know, it's just we're not looking forward to what's in our forecast. That's
I absolutely have to agree. Let's send it over to Drews for our weather.
Hey, good evening, guys. Yeah, a very blustery day across east central Indiana. You did want that jacket as you headed out the door today. You will want it through the overnight hours tonight, right? We'll break down the cooler weather and maybe the chance for some precipitation in the forecast. We'll have that coming up later in the show.
All right, Joe, looking forward to it. Coming up, Yorktown has big plans to redevelop the downtown area, but that's coming at a bigger price for people that live there. Why only one woman's home will become just a memory.
And more live results as they come in. We will continue the coverage for the 2018 election after this.
We'll get back to election coverage here shortly, but we're following breaking news just into our newsroom tonight. Indiana State Police are investigating a deadly crash that killed one woman just before 5 east of Muncie. We've learned 65-year-old Janet Bonham was killed in that crash. She was the widow of former Delaware County Commissioner Ron Bonham. Police say an autopsy will be conducted tomorrow. We'll have the latest information tomorrow on NewsLink Indiana midday, and that'll be on Facebook Live. Also tonight, Yorktown officials are currently working towards redeveloping the downtown area, but many longtime residents are skeptical about the plan.
NewsLink Indiana's Cameron DeBlasio tells us what's at stake for the town and the people in it.
To Janice Ross, everything in her home has meaning, like the painting above her TV.
It's been over every TV we've had since I got it.
Or while her time on Vine Street is slowly running out, she's hoping her story will lead to different results for those around her. In Yorktown, Cameron DeBlasio, NewsLink, Indiana.
Ross family says the fight is far from over. Their lawyer plans to appeal last month's ruling, which allowed the town to use eminent domain on her property.
Now, 4 of the 7 town council members who made the decision to take over Ross property are up for re-election tonight, and reminders to go vote in this election are everywhere this year. Even Google's homepage is encouraging Americans to go and vote. Typically, users see a Google logo in the company's signature colors, but today the Google Doodle reads "Go Vote," and if you click on it, it takes you to a page where you can type in your address. That'll find your voting location. It even tells you the hours of your polling places and when it's open.
And false information on social media forced Muncie Community Schools to make a statement today. This afternoon, MCS posted a message on its social media account saying posts like this one from other accounts referencing weapons at the school in the district were false. In the statement, the district said the false posts were creating anxiety in the community. The district called on the parents in the community to talk to their children about the spread of false information on the internet and the consequences that can come with it. The statement also outlined the school's safety protocols. The district said if there is an emergency, they will release an official statement.
The East Washington neighborhood has been around for a while, but an update may be making its way down the street. NewsLink Indiana's Esther Bauer has more.
For those who call Washington Street home,
for about 3.5 years.
It's nothing short of special. In Muncie, Esther Bauer, NewsLink, Indiana.
Now, if the change does go through, the city says updates won't start until the spring. Just ahead, we'll take a look at the highly contested Senate race and what it means for control in Washington.
That and more when NewsLink Indiana's Election Night 2018 coverage continues.
All right, 22 past the hour, continuing our coverage here back in the studio. We want to give you a few election alerts that we discussed a little bit earlier. Mike King has lost his position as clerk. Rick Spangler, will be the next clerk here in Delaware County, as well as Sheriff Ray Dudley. He has lost his position as sheriff. Tony Skinner will now hold that position moving forward.
That's right, Tanner. We have a lot going on tonight. NewsLink Indiana's Brittany Ehrman joins us in the newsroom with the latest updates.
Well, Marley and Tanner, we've seen the political ads over and over again. We know this is a very pivotal race, and here we are with those results. Politico is calling it with Mike Braun sitting at 53.4%. Now, this is based off of 56% of those precincts reporting. A really interesting fact to look at is Delaware County voted all for Joe Donnelly. So, a very interesting fact, but as we saw, Mike Braun came out on top. Now, we're going to transition to this U.S. 6th Congressional District. Moving on to that, and we will see those election results. But as of right now with the U.S. Senate, we do know that the Republicans flipped this seat. We didn't know if this was going to happen, but those election results said otherwise. And we do know now that Jeanine Lake, Delaware County, did not win. And we did know that Pence would win based off of those family ties. We do know that Mike Pence, being the vice president, if people saw that name and saw that family tie, it would probably be a very high chance that he would win and take that seat. So when we come back, you'll get a recap of the local, state, and national level with that interesting information. And Zoe Dwiggins, we're now going to turn it over to her, who was at the Jeanine Lake watch party, who did lose. Zoe?
Our hope is that around the nation. Hi guys, I am here live at the convention center, and Jeanine Lee Lake just arrived. This is where she is having her election night gathering. She arrived literally just moments ago, and her campaign manager is speaking right now. She is, I believe, about to give her concession speech. The numbers are not looking good for her. Many sources have actually called the election in Greg Pence's favor. There's about a 30% gap between their level of votes, and while not all the votes are counted, it is looking very likely that Greg Pence will win. And she is actually about to give her concession speech. So that's about all we have right now, but we will keep you updated as this story progresses. So I'm going to go ahead and send it back to the desk. So it's back to you guys. Thanks.
Zoe Dwiggins at the Horizon Center tonight. Zoe, thank you.
Turning back now to our analyst this evening, Chad Kinsella. Thanks for sticking around. Now, Jeanine Lake right now going up against Greg Pence tonight. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think they've called it for Greg Pence, and if they haven't, I think it's just going to be for Lake an impossible, insurmountable race to win. I know she's campaigned here on campus. She's had David Letterman in to do a fundraiser, but it's a very red district, and I think it's going to be a bridge way too far, for. I'm not even sure. I think I said like David Letterman, I think, could come in here and run himself, and I'm not sure he could win this district. So, no offense to David Letterman, but it's a tough district for any Democrat to win, and I just don't think that even if there might be a blue wave tonight, I don't think it's gonna make it this far.
So you're saying that no matter what, Jeanine Lake probably had no shot at winning this district, even though we did talk about, she had Letterman here. She campaigned here locally on campus. She has her headquarters here. No shot is what we're saying.
I don't think so. I mean, she did well here in Delaware County, but I think the district, the way that it's drawn, it would have been, it's very difficult. You know, I think had she been able to win the district, it would have been, you know, not a blue wave, but a blue tsunami, unlike we've ever seen. But that's so far what we've seen, especially, you know, given some of the results that are already coming in, that doesn't look to be happening. And it's just a far too difficult of a district for any Democrat to run in and win.
All right, well, we'll come back to you in a few minutes. We'll touch on a little bit more of these state races. Also, we'll look at things nationally. But as more results continue to come in, social media is reacting to those numbers.
The big discussion right now, stickers are creating quite the chatter. NewsLink Indiana's Esther Bauer joins us in the newsroom to look at what people are saying online tonight.
That's right, guys. It seems that people weren't at the polls today. They were taking to social media to voice what they're hoping to see. And Marley, you hit it right on the dot. One of those major talking points were the stickers. When a lot of people go to vote, they're hoping that they get one of the really cool and pivotal I voted stickers. In Delaware County, though, that wasn't the case. Garrett tweeted, "I love voting. I also love stickers." Now, I did speak with election officials today who told me the reason why is because the early voter turnout was just too big. So come today on Election Day 2018, they didn't have enough, but it got people talking. They were hoping to see stickers. They didn't, but they still went out to vote, which is awesome. And now, thankfully, in Delaware County, we didn't have any voting issues, but across the state, there were. If we look at Johnson County and Monroe County, their voting machines were down, causing problems at the polls. The lines exceeded 2 to 3 hour waits, and the polls did have to stay open 1 extra hour, and that's causing these voting numbers coming in to take some time. So in Delaware County, we kept everything moving and on track, but across the state, people were taking to social media to talk about their frustration with getting their votes in. But back here in Muncie, we had Ellie doing something pretty cool. She was offering people rides to vote today. So she tweeted, "Need a ride to the polls tomorrow?" and she was giving those out today. We know that Uber and Lyft offer free rides, some of them, which is great. And so they were really coming together in Muncie and across the nation to make sure that we get out to vote. If we transition now to our NewsLink Facebook page, we got some viewer knowledge about when they went out to vote, what they were seeing. We saw 15-minute to 45-minute wait times, but they were still out to vote, and that's great. So as you can see, people were taking to social media to talk about what they're hoping to see and what they did today on Election Day 2018. Back to you.
All right, Esther, thank you so much. We do want to tell you right now, we are switching to NewsLink Indiana's Facebook page. Our coverage on Channel 57 and 61 here in Muncie will be ending. Once again, move to our Facebook page if you want to continue our election night coverage. Meanwhile, we're returning to some weather. It's cold, it's windy. I don't like it one bit.
Hey, I don't like it either. But
Yeah.
you know what? Honestly, there was a little bit of sunshine today. The wind
Gleaming
was...
hope.
Alrighty, let's send it over to Joe for our weather.
Good evening, guys. Yeah, we did have some sunshine around today. It was a rather blustery day. Sun's gone down now, and temperatures have fallen a bit. Right now, 47 degrees in the Circle City. Temperatures in the mid-40s to close this week, but falling into the upper 30s to start next week. The good news is we are mostly dry throughout. Just be prepared, again, for the chance for some precipitation, which could be in the form of wintry precipitation Friday morning.
All right, Joe, thank you so much. Turning now to sports. What's coming up, Josh?
All right, well, coverage tonight was pretty much all politics. Sports is going to be all basketball. We'll have men's basketball highlights and of the home and season opener, as well as we'll preview the women's home opener when we come back after this. Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Josh Shelton with sports. The Ball State women's basketball team tips off their season tomorrow evening at 7. They'll take on Purdue, who eliminated them last year in the second round of the WNIT play. Last season, the Cardinals finished with a 25-7 record and are looking to continue winning this season. The Cardinals roster features 6 freshmen and 3 sophomores, making them a very young team. Some teams may see this as a disadvantage, but the Cardinals think of it as more of an opportunity. Senior guard Jasmine Sams believes the freshmen are a valuable asset to the team.
There hasn't been a single negative thought. We've played some close scrimmages that we weren't supposed to win, and we played extremely well, so I don't think that there's a negative thought in any single one of the 12 players' minds, and we think that every day we're going to go out there and win. So everything's been very positive, and we'll see how we react tomorrow to it.
And the Cardinals are looking to make a statement in tomorrow's WNIT rematch. But before the women's game, the men's basketball team had their home and season opener tonight against their oldest rival, Indiana State. This is the 130th meeting between the Cardinals and Sycamores, and it did not disappoint. Here we see the Cardinal band getting the fans into it as the team prepares to tip off. And it didn't take long with the Cardinals here. Tajay Teague breaking away for the slam in transition. He led the team at half with 10 points. The Sycamores wouldn't go down without a fight. Jordan Barnes gets free there for the floater to keep the game tight. Coach Whitford, though, he's going to talk to senior Taylor Persons. Must have told him to go get a bucket, and Persons must have listened. Here he is. He's going to rise up for a tough leaner over the defender to protect the Cardinal lead. The Cardinals would go on to win this one 86-69. KJ Walton was the X factor tonight for the Cardinals, dropping 15 points while also snagging 6 boards and a few assists. Jordan Barnes led the way for the Sycamores, scoring 16 points and dishing out 4 assists. It wouldn't be enough to overcome the 54-point surge from Ball State in the second half to secure the W. With the win tonight, the series between these two teams moved to 73-60 in favor of Indiana State. However, when the games are played in Muncie, Ball State now has a 41-23 advantage. And guys, we hope that the women's team can take this momentum from the men's team tonight in Worthing and get another home and season opener win tomorrow night.
I agree. I have to agree.
Yeah, well, good start out for the men's tonight. We're looking forward to a fantastic season.
Yeah, and it should be one.
All right, Josh, thank you so much. One last look at the election results coming into our newsroom tonight. Stay with us, and you're watching NewsLink Indiana's 2018 election coverage.
Back now at 9:39, taking a live look from the bell tower on McKinley, we continue our election coverage for 2018.
That's right. NewsLink Indiana's Brittany Ehrman joins us one last time with the latest local and state results coming into the newsroom tonight. Brittany.
All right, Tanner, well, these are the election results that we have as of right now. This is the update on the local, state, and national level. So first, let's start with the local. We have, again, the same results as before, 100% reporting with Rick Spangler, Republican candidate, winning over Mike King. Then we have Delaware County Commissioner Shannon Henry, who was incumbent, re-won this seat at 48%. And then Delaware County Sheriff, again, Tony Skinner, winning over Ray Dudley, a shock for many. But those are the results for local. Now we're going to take a transition over to state. Now these are a little different results. These are 62% of people reporting, or precincts reporting, across the state in comparison to those just in Delaware County. So Indiana State Senator District 25 Tim Lennon, incumbent, in the lead with 52%. Indiana State Senator District 26 Mike Gaskill, 57%. He's sitting high and beating Dave Kravitz. And Indiana Secretary of State, again 62% reporting. Connie Lawson, incumbent, almost re-winning this seat at 60%. Well, now we're going to take a look and transitioning to those national results at the U.S. Senate. And Mike Braun, again, taking the seat at 53.7%. This is based off of 59% of precincts reporting, losing to Joe Donnelly. Again, an interesting note that everyone in Delaware County voted for Joe Donnelly, so a blue area there. And now we're going to transition to the 6th congressional district. And Republicans held this seat. So Greg Pence, 62%, winning with that number. Now this was expected for political analysts because his brother, Mike Pence, held this seat before he was Vice President of the United States. Janine Lake losing with 34%. She was a Delaware County resident, so some local matters to hear. And this is the recap of all of those election results from local, state, and national. And that's what we have as of right now. Tanner, back to you.
All right, Brittany, thank you. Chad Kinsella here with us one last time from the Ball State Political Science Department. I want to talk about something that Brittany just mentioned, was the Mike Braun, Joe Donnelly race. We have now confirmed that Mike Braun will be that senator moving into that seat. Thoughts, reactions to that?
It's a huge pickup and a huge win for Republicans nationally and in the state. Joe Donnelly, to his credit, I mean, he had campaigned hard for a very long time. So I mean, it was, I knew it would be a close race. So so that has very, big national implications. Mm-hmm. It's one of the first wins for the night in the U.S. Senate. So, we're looking at a possibility now where Republicans could actually now pick up U.S. Senate seats and maybe even still lose the House, which would be unprecedented. So this is really big news that happened.
Now, we just heard a little bit about what your thoughts on the national perspective will be. Joe Donnelly was actually elected in this county, so he won Delaware County. Is that surprising to you?
A little bit. At Delaware County, we have a long-running history. I think since 1960, we've always picked the presidential winner. So we've usually picked the winner. So it is actually I've kind of thought how Delaware County would go, Indiana would go. So not many times you can say that, but that is something I thought would happen. So I am a little surprised that happened. But he overperformed in the places he needed to. So very interesting.
Thank you so much, Chad, for being with us here tonight.
It was my pleasure.
Thank you. Now let's go ahead and take one last look at the weather.
Yeah, guys, cool temperatures expected through the end of the week. Check that out, 42 degrees and maybe some snowflakes for Friday.
You said the S word.
Exactly. Take it slow on the roads early in the day on Friday. I think we could have some slick conditions. Dry but very cold for Saturday. Veterans Day, we rebound a little bit into the low 40s, but cooler temperatures for Monday and Tuesday. And the bad news is, guys, those cool temperatures are likely to last through the middle part.
Now, I see the S word in not one but two of the days on this graphic.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not good. It's not good.
It's November.
No snow. No snow, please.
All right, Joe. Well, thank you so much. And thank you so much for being a part of Election Night 2018 with us. We'll be back tomorrow at noon on Facebook Live for the very latest.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.